think we're just going right into LB6. We're going to do like a section or two a day, depending on how long it is. I like to do like an hour or two of FGO a day, but I'm really dying to play Final Fantasy 16, so we're just going to go right in. And we're just going to see how long it takes. Going to see how long it takes, and we'll take it from there. No, I'm in no rush to finish at LB6, and it's nice to have like a chapter or two a day, because then it's like a long quest. My new keyboard should be here Thursday as well. I had to pay like £50 import fee. I bought one of those Vermilio keyboards. I've always wanted one of those custom keyboards, and they're great. And I got like an 80% keyboard, so like no numpad. It's going to be a lot smaller on my mat. So it's going to be a really nice keyboard. But yeah, I can't believe I had to pay £50 in customs. Holy shit. I'm still waiting for the motion blur off for Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, they might not ever do that though, so you might be waiting for a long time. Final Fantasy 7? Final Fantasy 7 is amazing. Can't wait for the part 2. Well, what if they never add it, Lolly? Will you never play it? Beautiful, isn't it? This is the center of the British Lost Belt. See that super ominous castle-looking thing over there? That's Camelot. These days, Britain is divided into north and south regions, and Camelot sits between them. Most people live here in the south and central area. The four main cities in this region are Salisbury, the Great Cathedral, Norwich, the northeast port town, Gloucester, the city of fashion, and Oxford, the great dining hall. Each city is run by the head of the Fairy clan. Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but do you know where Mash and Da Vinci are? Oh, they said it's in the works? Oh, Pog. Huh? I see. So there were others from Chaldea with you. I'm very sorry, but you were the only one I managed to find. And as you can see, it's just me right now. So, tracking you down was the best I could do. But that leads nicely to my next point. Can you tell me what this mash of yours looks like? Oh, she's blonde with green eyes. Right, chat? Kick a W. I still remember playing the original Final Fantasy. Me too. Me too. Final Fantasy 7 is my favorite game of all time. But the remake is joint because it's still 7. So original Final Fantasy 7 and the remake is my #1 game of all time. 16 is coming close to taking... Well, it is second already, but it's coming close to being like maybe a joint first. I don't know. 16 is really damn good. Really damn good. As long as I know what she looks like, I can have Blanca look for her. Blanca? Who's that? Didn't you just say you were alone? Oh, right, here. Let me introduce you. It's a moth. Pretty cute, right? I talk with her a lot. I guess you could call her my friend. I mean, she kind of is cute for a moth. Really fluffy. Anyway, she's very neat, very smart, and above all, she's a hard worker. If anyone can track down Mash, she can. Okay, now that's settled, how about we start by sharing what we know about with one another, or share about what we know with one another. You tell me your story, and I'll tell you mine. And you know the rest. I see. So you've conquered 5 lost belts thus far. And while you weren't originally planning to come to Britain, you, Mash, Leonardo, and Tristan wound up coming to here to investigate this collapse. Yep, sounds about right. But then, after the 4 of you landed here, you got separated in the Nameless Woods. That's unfortunate. No, I'm sorry, I couldn't be more helpful. I had no idea you were the only one lost. If I'd only been more attentive back then, maybe I could have tracked down Mash and Leonardo as well. But I was so excited about finding you that I forgot all about everything else. So then you were the one I saw at the beach before I lost consciousness. For the time being, there's one thing we can and should check out. Mash, is your contract servant right? Then you should have a magical connection with her. Magical energy connection. If it's still active, then we'll at least know she's alive. Even if we don't know yet where she is. How about it? Can you check on that for us? Chat, so we should get like a decent chunk of course towards Coin and Sky, right? So we get like 30 today. We get 60 if we reach the campaign on Twitter, which we should do. So that'll be another 90. And then you might get anywhere from 50 to 200. Depending on how many interludes you've done, because we get extra SQ retroactively on the anniversary in a couple days for all the interludes you've done, right? I think I might get like roughly maybe like, I don't know, I want to say like, I would like to say like 100 from that. So that gives me 190 quartz free to go towards Koyanskaya. I'm hoping I can get mega lucky. Samsung, please. I'm hoping I can get mega lucky and get Koyan pretty easily and then start saving for Oberon for a little bit, because I kind of don't want to spend any money on gachas for a long while if I can help it. 138 max for interludes? Ooh, then I might not get that much then. I might only get like 80 then. Oof. I was hoping we'd get a bit more free with Anniversary, because usually with Anniversary they're quite generous, right? They give you quite a bit, like 20, 30 tickets, you know, decent chunk of SQ. I was hoping we'd get a bit more generous because I don't really want to spend any money on gacha if I can help it. Not for a while. The connection is still active. She's alive! Great, then all we have to do now is find her. And Leonardo's a servant too, right? But I'm sure she's still alive and kicking too. Fortunately, the fairies here can't tell the difference between their fellow fae folk and servants. So, as long as they're not human, they shouldn't be in too much danger, so let's stay calm and trust them to handle themselves. Next, Vittoria, is there something you'd like to say to me? Should still be around 200-300 SQ for veterans? What, just from the... Wait, from what exactly? Like from everything combined, Lolly? You mean like the... From the 30 we got today, from the 60 from the campaign, plus the retroactive reward for the interludes? I wonder how much I'll get though, because it's only interludes, right? It's not strengthenings as well. The only change is the retroactive extra quartz for the interludes. I don't know how much I'll get. I'm going to try and spam a lot of interludes in my spare time though, like once I finish streaming and everything. I'm just going to spam interludes and skip a lot. But the only problem is that a lot of my servants are locked behind either not being bond level 3 or above, or not max ascension, so I got to start putting other servants in the background, you know. They're adding more for free quests and rank up clears, but that's not. Is that retroactive though? Do we get like the ones we've already done in the past for that? They're adding more for free quests and rank up clears. Oh, they are. Oh, Pog, that's cool. Well, then I should get a decent chunk, right? Because I've done most of my free quests. That's something I got to do as well. Is clear all my free quests as well. Because I've got like if I was able to clear all my interludes, strengthenings, and any free quests and rank ups I've got left, I've got tons of quartz right now. Like literally, probably easy, like maybe 300, if not more. Because I've got so many interludes and rank ups. I think I've got a couple of free quests left. Maybe I'll check after this node. No, not right now. Anyway. Honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything. I've just heard about Chaldea, proper human history, the lost boats, and so on. Although, getting back to servants, heroic spirits? Is that like a human turning into a fairy after they die? And you said both you and Tristan, are servants yourselves? That's right. If you want to know more about heroic spirits and servants, I'm sure Hino there will be happy to fill you in on the way. Between a resident of this lost boat like you, and a master from proper human history who's a guest of this world, you two should be able to catch each other up almost on everything. On the way, you said. Does that mean you have a destination in mind, Oberon? I do, indeed. When you're trying to track someone down, a big city's your best bet. Besides, you and Hito both need to get used to the way things work around here in Fey Britain. So our next stop is Salisbury, the biggest city in the south. There, we'll find food, clothing, shelter, everything we need, really. It's just about a full day's work from here. I know you've been up all night, but do you think you can make the trek? Oh, by the way, Lolly, congratulations on MP5 Lollylot. Good job, man. Good job. Hopefully it came easy and wasn't too much. I really chose a bad time to start with this VTuber project. I managed to get Silverwolf last night with free quartz. I farmed a lot of the free content. So I managed to get her, and I hit the pity. Kafka, I hope she's not going to be at least like a month or two away. There's no way I'm going to be able to roll for her health. Unfortunately, lucky enough I was able to get NP2 Morgan pretty cheap, but Morgan comes back a lot, so I wasn't too worried about her banners. Lollylot I'm going to have to skip, unfortunately. I just don't have the available balance right now to roll on Lollylot. It feels bad. I'm just going to try and hope and pray that I get one copy of Koyan and Oberon relatively easily, because if not, then rip. I mean, Koyan gets a couple of banners too, so I'm actually almost tempted to skip her first banner, depending on how much we get free from Annie. Maybe I'll only roll half of what I got. Like if I've got like 300 quartz, for example, I'll roll like 150 of it, see what my luck's like, and then, yeah, maybe save the rest for Oberon, because Oberon's more limited than Koyan, right? Oberon only gets like 2 banners or something, right? But, yeah. You had to buy 5 more packs? Bro, I thought you were stopping at like MP3 for a while. I mean, I'm not gonna question you, because you know, you're smart, you know your own limits, you're not daft, you're not gonna like go into debt over a gacha game. But I thought you were waiting. Of course. Good answer. You definitely got the spirit, but you're also tempering with it. You're also tempering it with a healthy dose of cool-headedness. I like that. Salisbury, huh? Nah. What should I do? It might be kind of dangerous to go back now. But I also can't leave Hino to fend for herself. Plus, I don't care what this Oberon guy says. He really seems a lot like Merlin. Would it be okay if I came along too, Hino? I know I mistakenly went by Match's name for a while there. But I want to know more about you, and about, oh, right, proper human history. Oh, sorry, I assumed you'd be coming with us. Oh yeah, I completely thought you weren't already a part of the team. Let's go that one. Right, of course not. Oh gosh, what am I even saying? Of course you wouldn't want a country bumpkin like me tagging along. Huh? You're shaking my hand again? Does that mean it's okay? Of course, I'm glad to have you with us, Otoria. That's cute. Yeah, but man, I need my Lycia lookalike. Are you talking about Lollylot glitch? I want her too, man. She's really cute. She's so goddamn cute. But fucking a billion things decided to happen at once. Fucking Silver Wolf and Kafka, Oberon, Koyanskaya, Morgana, Lollylot. And then I decided to do this whole VTuber product thing. It's just too much. There's too much. Yes. Now that's a lovely friendship. I was definitely on pins and needles back in Cornwall, but it seems not interfering was the right choice after all. In theoretical terms, I believe this is the part where we say, now that the actors are in place, the real story can begin. Chaldea alone won't be enough. The Child of Prophecy alone won't get there in time. So, we'll need to both defeat the mighty Morgan. Uh-oh. Wait, it sounded like you were going to say someone else. So we'll both need to defeat the mighty Morgan and... I was expecting it, and... Alright, so... Let's check real quick. So... What free quest do I have left? This is... That's just my... Oh, that's Hienkyo. Okay, so we got 13 nodes in Hienkyo, which is... That's 13 quartz alone, right? So that's 13 quartz there to work on. I think this is just interludes, right? All these stuff is just interludes and stuff. So that's 13 quartz. Then there's going to be like a decent chunk. Then you're going to get at least like, I don't know, 20 or so free from LB6. So that's like 23 for me. No, 33. I've already got 47, so that's 47. That's 70. Then add the other 60 from the campaign. That's 130. So I should at least be 250 maybe with all the changes and anniversary. I should be at like 250 quartz. That's just that simple alone. Let alone all these many interludes I have. I have 40 interludes that's available to do, and even more that's not available because I need like Ascension 2 or Bond level 4. So I gotta start working on Bond levels. Get everyone to like Bond level 5. And you get like quartz for almost everyone, right? Almost. Some of them don't give you quartz. So let's just say another 20 there. So that should put me at like 300. And I've got some rank up quests to still do. So I probably easily got like around 400 Every 10 is done. Yeah, exactly. Every 10 is done. So, that's easily another, like, potentially anywhere from 350 to 400 quartz I've got lying around in my account. I just need to do the work to get it, right? Just need to do the work to get it. Got some grapes and I was like, thought I pulled all the seeds out. Ah! So then the question becomes of how lucky I am. Unfortunately enough, with Koyan and Oberon, you only need one copy. You only need the one copy. I was tempted to use my 30 today to see if we could at least get like one Lollylot, but no. No. I'm gonna have to skip her banner. She's cute, and it sucks, but she comes back in like November if what someone told me is correct. So we got. I don't really need her. We've got plenty of options, right? It's not like as much as I would like her, and she's super cute. But like one, unless you want to farm with them. What you mean, like Lollylot? Yeah. But I've got plenty of farming options, honestly, right now. So it would be cool to have her, but it's not like we need her, unlike we need Oberon and Koyan. I mean, we don't even really need Oberon and Koyan, but they just make the game so much easier, and it lets me use all my cool buster summons like Morgan and Artoria and all that stuff, right? No for Vich and Ron. Always have my double Castoria Westabu team, yeah. When you say farm with them, you mean like them doing the damage? Because aren't they just like all buffers and stuff? With those guys, don't you just buff your main DPS? Okay. Basaka. Take you. And Arts MP. They have damaging MPs? Oh, okay. But the way you were phrasing it, though, I was a little bit worried that you meant like like you needed their MP level to do the chargings and stuff. Some super niche comps use them for wave 1. Oh, okay. Well, at least it's just that niche stuff. Like I was hoping that you didn't mean like, oh my god, you need them for the DPS rotations, because like their MP resets cooldowns or something. I was like, no. Just gonna take you. And then, as much as I want to bond my Artorias, if we need to work on all this quartz, so I'm gonna have to put people who's below bond level 3. Get everyone to try to get everyone to like bond level 4. If we do like a 6-star. And then like a 4-star and like a 3-star. If we keep this rotation up, we should be able to fit in here's Arts and Peace, that would help. So if we get in like a 5, 4, 3-star, we should be able to fit in a couple extra bomb Cs as well. So we can maybe get the bond level while doing LB6 at the same time. At least work on it a little bit. Bond up, there you go. I think once we get Chaldea tea time, the rest is just whatever, right? Can we fit in like another one? We can fit in that. There we go. That's some decent bond rating. Yeah, but yeah, MP1 is fine for 9-sided players. Glad I got everyone to bond 5 last lotto. Yeah, I just wasn't able to farm the last couple lotteries. There's just too much going on IRL or just not available. So that's why I'm gonna farm the next lottery coming up in July. I think we got Nerofest or something. Just gonna farm that quite crazily. Ah, the prophecy was true. That girl is our star of hope. She will be our salvation. She will be our path to forgiveness. She's our savior who drifted to our shores with a ship full of treasure. She's the one who will hear the voice of paradise and chant the promised name. Ah, dear Artoria. May you grow to the age of 16 healthily and strong. May the Queen's soldiers never find you. One day, you will go on a journey to ring the sixth bell and save all of Britain, a journey to welcome our true king. Gloucester, Salisbury, Oxford, Norwich, Orkney. We may not know where the sixth bell is, but we are confident you'll find it. The staff of selection has chosen you. You are Fairy Britain's only hope. Now go on, hurry, 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 hurry. Hurry and greet your 16th birthday. We have complete faith in you. The village is done for. The execution squads are here. Who is this chad-looking dwarf? Hold your head high. Grip your staff tight. Now is the time to begin your journey, Artoria. Remember, no matter what anyone says, you are unquestionably the child of prophecy. You're the spitting image of her. Of who? Looks like I burned most of the Lotto CEs from last Nerfest. From Nerfest? Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm so weak. I'm sorry, I can't live up to your expectations. I'll do my best, I promise, as much as I can. Smack, smack. Are you sleeping already, Artoria? Hey, I get it. There aren't many things cozier than a campfire. Huh? Oh no, was I asleep? I just remember Tristan playing his harp, and then... Ah, how this saddens me. I was merely trying to soothe your exhaustion. But I cannot help but notice you don't seem to care for my music, my liege, I mean, Maid Artoria. I'm sorry, I'm just not used to hearing music. But it really did help me fall asleep peacefully. I'd love it if you played again when it's bedtime. Ouch, you wound me, Maid Artoria. No bard wants to be told his music puts people to sleep. Hey, you can't blame her. We've been walking non-stop nearly all day. We're all exhausted. That's why we're camping out here tonight, before making our way to Salisbury tomorrow morning. Artoria, you can put up a bounded field to keep while I was away, right? Hate to ask this since I know you're sleepy, but would you mind? Oh yes, of course. Okay, I'll be back soon. Now then. I know we told Artoria the proper human history is like a parallel world to Britain, but of course, that's not the whole truth, is it? The truth is, proper human history is the rightful historical timeline, and is fundamentally incompatible with this world of Fey Britain. As Chaldea, you have to erase the lost belt to ensure humanity's future. And now you're trying to come up with a way to tell Artoria this without hurting her too badly. Yeah. I see. I suppose you have betrayed the people of 5 lost belts already. Damn, I usually pride myself on being an excellent conversationalist. But even I'm having trouble coming up with the right words to heal the wounds in your heart. So, for now, the best I can do is offer some words of consolation. It's okay, Hino. This lost belt won't fall by your hand. Remember, it's falling apart on its own. If anything, I'd say you're doing it a favor. A favor? Yes, indeed. Human history simply could not ever prosper in this version of Britain. It's a flawed world that was always destined for destruction. History took a dreadfully wrong turn here. The only problem is that it's threatening to take proper human history down with it when it all goes to pot. That's why guys like us from proper human history have to do whatever we can to save it. And that means defeating the one who's been ruling it from on high for 2,000 years, High Queen Morgan. Hold on. Did you say Morgan? As in that Morgan? Yep, that Morgan. The same one who proved to be King Arthur's ultimate Achilles heel in proper human history, even after he united all of Britain. The extraordinary witch who lured King Arthur into countless traps so she could take Camelot for herself. And the mother of Mordred, the treacherous knight, the child of King Arthur, who proved to be his downfall. She's the one who ultimately destroyed Britain, and here, she's Fey Britain's ruler, and she will bring it all to ruin. Let's see, I think you Chaldeans would probably refer to her as this lost belt's king. Queen Morgan. Anyway, based on everything you've told me, it sounds like Morgan's behind the outside world abnormality. So as long as you can defeat her, that should end the threat to proper human history. After that, you can just leave this place to its fate. Whether it falls apart or pulls itself back together, you won't need to feel bad about it. Look over there. What was it the Lost Belt needs to survive again? A tree of emptiness? Well, I'm guessing that world tree, the giant ash over there beyond the sea, is it. And as you can see, it's been dead for a long time, so this Lost Belt definitely hasn't got long left. So it's been dead for a long time. Anyway, I think that's enough talk for tonight. Don't want to overdo the info dump. So even if you don't remember anything else we talked about tonight, at least remember this. Defeat High Queen Morgan, ruler of Fey Bren. Whoa! Yo! Sonar! Thank you very much for the raid! How do you do the shout again? S, shout out. Is it shout out? Yeah. Yo, thank you for the raid, Sonar. Welcome raiders. What's up, chat? How you guys doing? We're just reading through LB6. We're on like section 2. I'm doing like a section or 2 a day, just to keep it fresh because I like having a lot of content and FGO content. So if we read like anywhere from 1 to 3 sections a day, we get to have like a long story like daily, right? I'm doing good, thanks, man. How about you? How about you? Slowly reading for LB6 and enjoying it. Did she say F you, that's a what? Yes, she did. I have a lot of, you know, I'm very into VTubers. I'm actually debuting in a couple of months myself. One of my favorite VTubers is Salome from Niji-san. She played a game called, was it Resident Evil? Was it Resident Evil? No, was it Biohazard? Yeah, Resident Evil Biohazard. She played it in one of her debut streams. And in the recording, the evil guy swears at her, like swears at the character, like in the game. So she was like, no, fuck you, Desuwa! So I just loved that. I loved how she said it, so I just made that my sub announcement, or my follower announcement. So whenever anyone follows me now, they go like, fuck you, Desuwa! Salome's voice actor from Niji-san. I love it. She's like she's like an Ojo-sama VTuber. She's really great. I recommend you check her out if you don't know about her yet. She is a Japanese VTuber though, so if you understand Japanese, there'll be a lot of gibberish. The moon runes. You're doing good. That's good to hear, man. Alright, let's carry on. Nice and simple, right? As for the rest, I'll tell you once we reach Salisbury. Once you see a Fey city for yourself, I think you'll have a much better handle on what life in Britain is like. Oh. Whoops. Sorry to interrupt. We've got monsters. Get ready to fight, you know. I'm so sorry. I actually skipped a couple of steps when I was making the bounded field. And I ended up summoning a pack of wild birds by mistake. Could you help me take them out, please? I never thought the day would come when my liege would beg me for help. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting she's not the King Arthur I knew. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Alright, Tristan used to be... Here they come. Be careful, Hino. Britain's beasts are not to be trifled with. LB6? Yeah, this is LB6. We're on like section 2 or 3. It's the sussy mothy boy. Yo, what's up, Aranya? How you doing, my dude? How you doing, my dude? You've got Deer Days now, right, Aranya? I want to try and start up the weekly tournament again. But I think I might wait till BT8 comes out first, because that's out soon, in a week or two. I think in a couple of weeks we're getting BT8. So I'll probably start up the weekly tournament then. Akio ikimasu. What's the weather like for you guys? It's super hot where I am right now. Really, really hot. I'm not really good in the heat. Gets me all sleepy. Reese's Creamy is so good. I hope they decide to keep them for good. Are you talking about the cream puffs? Reese's Cream Puffs. I know there's a song for it. We don't have them in the UK. The U of the K. I actually wondered if we'd ever get that Brave Chain early. I kind of expected them to give us the early Brave Chain in our anniversary in like a week. No, not a week. It's not even a week, right? When's the first fly? Saturday. Anniversary should be like this Saturday or Sunday. You were already working in a 28 degrees environment, so going outside is like no change. Oh. Damn. The biggest issue with the weather in the UK is that 1 minute it could be freezing cold and raining, and then within literally about 5 seconds, the rain disappears and the clouds disappear, and all of a sudden it's like boiling hot sun. Like in the middle of, like, you've been shoved in the middle of the Sahara Desert. It's really crazy. The temperature and the weather changes in the UK are not healthy for the human body. Yay, we won! No, we trounced them. Man, this feels so good. Ah, this makes me happy. That was the first battle I've won handily since being summoned. True, we haven't had much luck with combat since we got here. Indeed, I may not be a match for these fairies, but demonic beasts like these are no match for the Round Table. I see. So you're already strong enough to handle a murder of Nightcrows without much trouble, hmm? Very nice. That's even better than I was expecting. Tristan, your bow may not be particularly strong, but its range is exceptional. You're clearly well suited for battles against large groups. With you on our side, I bet we could win no matter how outnumbered we may be. As for you, Atoria, you're much more of a wild card than you look. Is that strange tool of yours handmade? A rare weapon like that will be very effective against an opponent who's never seen it before, especially as a distraction. Yo, what's up, Cheeks? How did the visit with the grandpa go? Hopefully it was okay. Hopefully he's okay. And above all, your summons were fascinating, Hino. Temporarily summoning heroic spirits to aid in battle. Huh. I had no idea it was such a flexible and powerful way to fight. Human magecraft doesn't tend to work very well against fairies, but summoning heroic spirits is definitely an exception. The only problem with it is how long you can cast, given the incredible demands on your stamina, magical energy, and sheer luck. Plus, it seems like the longer the battle lasts, the more of a toll it takes on you. But as long as you're careful about that, you should be able to handle anyone, fairy or not. Wait a moment, human magecraft? You can use magecraft, Hino? Why is that surprising? Just barely thanks to my mistake code, but yep. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I was just a little taken aback. You see, magecraft isn't really used much in Britain. Basically, fairies perform sacraments without any help from basic magecraft, spells, or mystic codes. So magecraft is considered unnecessary at best, and only practiced by weirdos and at worst. In fact, to be totally blunt, if you tell people you use magecraft here, they tend to look at you all funny and ask why you go to all that trouble. I see. You do have a point. Fairies simply have no need of magecraft. And since this Britain is a land dominated by fairies, that would mean magecraft is effectively worthless here. So why do you use it then, Atoria? Oh man, after everything I just said, you really went there, Hino. Now, it was an honest question, Atoria. You know, she didn't mean anything by it, right? Anyway, you don't have to answer it if you'd rather not. As for you, Hino, I suggest you wait for a better time before bringing this up again. Anyway, I think we might have gotten distracted from our main purpose. Now that we've only got this nice camp set up, we should use it to get a good night's rest. I'm sure there's more you'd like to know about Hino, Atoria, but why don't we save that for tomorrow? Fortunately, there are none of the Queen's soldiers, no Moors, and no rebel army around here. And once we wake up in the morning, it's only another hour's walk to Salisbury, where we'll be able to have a much more in-depth conversation. After all, if you're going to have a fun discussion, you should save it for a nice, relaxing place, right? Man, Oberon's... Oh, I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard about Oberon and saw a little bit of clips of him, or a little bit of art, I tried to not look much, because obviously I don't like spoilers from, you know, JP. So you just have a quick glance. I wasn't too keen on his art, but now I'm seeing it in person. It's pretty good. It's not as bad as I looked. I thought like, oh, why does art look so cheapy? It looks like freaking like how they did like Dio mode, you know, like the original Dio mode. His art is all like funky, and how they did Rama as well. Is it Rama? Was it Rama? You know, the art looked a bit weird and like really like cheapish almost in a way. I wanted to say, but it's you know his art is pretty good. He looks pretty handsome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, my PC is being built today, by the way. He's straight out of a manga. Yes, and that's why I like it very much. This week I promised myself I was going to get into a schedule. You know, waking up, doing some bits, studying Japanese for 30 minutes in the morning, at night, which I did started today. I already started my studies. It's pretty cool. I need to try to fit some time in for exercise, and manga reading again. What I might do is I might just do like 30 minutes of Japanese in the morning, then 10 minutes at night time, and then use the 20 minutes left over from that to do reading. So reading my manga again, because I'm trying to get into a routine of doing things. So you know, wake up, you know, wash, blah blah blah, have breakfast, watch an anime while having breakfast, study Japanese for like 30 minutes or so, play with the kitty cat, maybe get some exercise in there. Then we can stream. Then stream ends, play with the kitty cat again, give her exercise, and then you know do whatever bits before bed. And then when I go to bed, just like study Japanese for 10 minutes, and then 20 minutes of like manga reading. I need to fit some exercise somewhere in there. I'm trying to keep to a really nice schedule, so I can get in a better mental and a better state of mind. You know, when you feel good and your body's getting exercise, you know, it helps you feel good. Release endorphins in your body, makes your your brain cope easier. So I'm trying to get into all these routines. It's just fitting everything in and trying to keep the routine. Because when you live by a routine, you don't want to live by it rigidly, but having like a general routine or a schedule in place is really good and healthy for the human body and just the human mind in general. But yeah, my PC is being built. I checked today; it was actually in construction or under. Did they say under construction? So, considering they're professionals, I wouldn't imagine it would take long to build it. I reckon I might get it by the end of this week or beginning of next week. It's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. I imagine like they probably could build it in one whole day, but then maybe like a day of testing or something. I don't exactly know how they'll do it, but in the warranty, it's got like proper cable management, fully tested. Was it like 2 days of testing? Let me just check actually. It was under construction anyway, which was pretty exciting. In assembly, that's the word they used. In assembly. 3 years warranty, clean cable management, expertly built and optimized. And because these are like professional PC gamers, I wouldn't imagine it would take them more than like a day or two. Like if they work like 9 to 5, I wouldn't imagine it would take more than a day or two. I'm hoping they take a bit of extra care because the amount of money this PC costs. But yeah. Did someone say meow? What is that? Like that. A schedule, I guess it's time to I form a schedule too. You should, yes, you should. Again, like I said though, it's not like the schedule has to be like a solemn law. Make sure it's flexible, but it's just good to have a rough idea what you want to do, you know, because it helps build structure for the human brain and body. So you get into a routine, so you're healthy. It gives you purpose as well, because having purpose as a human is very important. Like, this is a bit of a grim example, but a lot of people who work all their life and then retire, they die early because they lose their purpose. Because like they've had so many years of working that when they retire, they've never really planned for it. And that's not all people, obviously. It's just some people who don't plan for their retirement. So when they actually retire, they just get like mega lazy, or because they don't have like a routine or a schedule, they like the body and mind deteriorates so fast. And I've actually seen that happen to a friend of a family, which is a bit unfortunate. That they worked most of their life till like the age of 65, and then they retired, and they really didn't do much. They went so downhill so fast because they just had no schedule, no routine. So it was like their whole life they reached a certain thing, then it's gone, and their body was just like, okay, I guess there's nothing left for us to do, sort of thing. So it's always healthy to have a schedule, but you don't, like I said, don't make sure it's not like a rule. Like if you miss a part of the schedule, don't feel bad. You know, just have like a rough schedule that, you know, things you want to try and do and get done daily. You know, obviously, you know, add a lot of free time for yourself in there and whatnot. But if you miss like an item off your schedule for like a day or two, just don't beat yourself up over it. And that's the gist of the world's history up until 2017. Whoa, so other worlds really do exist. England, Scotland, Ireland? And you said there are other countries beyond the Isle too? Like, France and Italy? I can't even imagine so many different countries and cultures and people. It sounds like you come from a really wonderful world. Britain without the fairies, huh? That sounds like a nice change of pace. Well, from here, from where... my brain, tongue twisted. Well, from where Hino is sitting, I'd imagine she finds Britain full of fairies to be quite the change of pace. I do have to correct you on one thing, though. It's not that there aren't any fairies at all in proper human history, where Hino comes from. While mystics have definitely faded since the AD era began, fairies are still around. Though, of course, there are far fewer of them, and they don't reveal themselves to humans much. Heck, I'm a fairy heroic spirit myself. Come to think of it, Oberon, aren't you from... A Midsummer Night's Dream, right? Written by William Shakespeare, England's greatest playwright, it may well be one of the most famous stories about fairies. It's basically about a love, square, between humans. But two of the most important characters are Oberon, the King of Fairies, and this queen, Titania, and his queen, Titania. In the story, Oberon wants Titania to give him one of her pages. So he hatches a plan involving a potion that will cause the drinker to fall in love with the first living thing they see upon waking. But two humans end up taking it by mistake, causing them to forget about the person they love and mistakenly believe they're fated to be with someone else. Well, without going into too much detail, it all wraps up nicely in the end. The sort of comedy of eras focused on love and miscommunication you see everywhere. Or it's a sort of comedy. But unfortunately for me, it became so popular that it kept being retold for generations. Thanks to that, the word fairy is now synonymous with mischievous Puck and narrow-minded King Oberon. Poor Oberon. So at least in one sense, I might be the most famous fairy in the world. If you've never read it before, you should give it a shot once you get back to Chaldea. It doesn't paint the most flattering picture of me, unfortunately, but never mind that. And just to be clear, I swear I wasn't trying to make trouble, okay? I'm just a plot device, really. Only there to get the romantic hijinks rolling. So then, does that mean you're a fictional character, Oberon? Is it even possible for someone as vaguely defined as that to become a servant? No, it isn't. While Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream is indeed how he is best known. The legends of Oberon, the Fairy King, have existed in Europe since ancient times. Perhaps most notable, there's a poem about him from the 15th century, well before Shakespeare's time. Here he is described as a king of fairies who can use magic to make any wish come true. Really? I didn't know about that one. I was gonna say, don't we have at least like 2 or 3 servants that are like, there are servants because of a very vague story? Like, isn't Nursery Rhyme kind of one of them? A servant who's like vague. I'm gonna check some actually while we're talking real quick. I forgot to check on an order. I've got so much going on and coming and delivering that I'm trying to keep a track of everything, and there was one that I actually forgot. I want to check the delivery information. Check order details. Can I track this? I have the Full Mechanics Gundam Ariel that I pre-ordered ages ago. Can't seem to track it. That's unfortunate. Wonder if I had an email about it. Only thing worse than Fairy Bryn is normal Bryn. Yo, fuck you right now. Bryn's not that bad, asshole. Has a lot of cool lore and history and like myths and fairies and fairy tale. Current Bryn I could possibly agree with you. Where's my tracking? Oh, there it is, tracking number. Hiccup. I knew there would be a tracking number somewhere. Oh, it should be coming tomorrow. Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday will be this. Thursday should be my keyboard, and possibly Friday or next Monday my computer. Pog. Sanshi, Japan. Okay, cool. So Tuesday, Thursday. I don't remember that, Tuesday and Thursday. Nushuram is literally a bunch of stories with no definite form. Jack the Ripper. Oh yeah, Jack as well. Well, Jack is kind of... Jack has got like real lore meaning though, right? Like, there are lots of actual stories in that behind Jack. So I feel Jack is a bit more defined, especially than someone like Nursery Rhyme. Pale Rider is just a thing that exists. Those are defined things that are clear definitions can be undefined manifestation. Then something as undefined as a fictional character can be even more detailed. Just disabled my speakers to change my headphones. Just before I got blasted, I remembered I hadn't lowered the volume. No streamer. Jack is just a guy who stabbed people. Yeah, but that's what I mean. There was like basis for it, right? Really, I didn't know about that one. This is described as the king of fairies who can use the magic. Okay. The point is, the character was inspired by an existing model, and that model must have become the base for my servant form. Which came first? Who knows? Just another version of chicken and the egg problem. What about Titania then? Oh, she's old Shakespeare. There are no legends in fairy history of anyone by that name. The name Titania probably came from the titans of Greek mythology. The Oberon, A Midsummer's Night Dream, is pretty self-centered after all. You could never find a lady who would tolerate him, so Shakespeare had to make one up. But I digress. Sorry for wasting our time. Salisbury is just up ahead. Don't worry about the guards. I'll handle them. All you three have to do is stay quiet. It's okay. My face is basically a free pass into the city. Oh, right. One more thing. Do not tell them your names. If they ask, you can't avoid answering. Make something up. We don't need anyone else finding out that you're a human. And you never know who might be listening. Hold on. Isn't it dangerous to lie to fairies? I've heard their eyes can see through falsehoods. If so, shouldn't we try avoiding lying whenever possible? Oh, don't worry. The fairies here don't have powers like that. I don't know if they lost them, thanks to all this prosperity, or if they threw them away in order to be prosperous, but either way, they definitely can't tell the truth from lies anymore. The only way you can tell if you're dealing with a good person or not is when everything's said and done. How else could someone as evil as Morgan have stayed at the top of this world for so long? Ah yes, Titania isn't real. Well, Jack is a man who held the whole city of London in fear. He isn't just some heart shaker. Yeah, exactly. Auroran Zeichi, a character and story that captivated people for hundreds of years. He's more defined than Jack the Ripper is. But Jack has, like, real ties, though, to the real world, though, right? He was an actual person who stabbed people, whereas Oberon was just a story. So he actually existed. So his base for creation was already there and viable. So this is Salisbury. Wow, this is a pretty town. Ah, how this gladdens me. The air here is very different from Cornwall. There may be fairies everywhere we turn here, too, but I don't sense anything dangerous about them. They all seem happy and full of good cheer. Is there some sort of festival taking place today or something? No, this is just the life in Salisbury. It's only the free city in Older Britain, or it's the only free city in Older Britain. There are about 200,000 people living in Salisbury. Some are wind, earth, and fangs fairies. Some fairies who emerge spontaneously from nature, and some are even independent humans. Independent humans? Humans who have won their freedom and now belong to no one but Britain itself. I was hoping to tell you about that aspect of life here once things had settled down, but I guess it was bound to come up sooner or later. And since the great cathedral is here too, this seems as good a place as any to get into it. You Chaldeans may have thought there were no humans in this lost belt, but strictly speaking, that's not true. Humans do exist here. They're just not at the top of the hierarchy. Here, they're used as tools to enrich fairy society. In proper human history terms, they're essentially slaves. Didn't you think there was something strange about this city? It's wrong, twisted, unseemly. Now that you mention it, the idea of Fairy City does seem wrong. Exactly. Fairies are supposed to live in harmony with nature. Even when they come and form communities, it's always forest children and stone children gathering under the same Great Mother. They were always just the divided spirits of the planet, who never possessed a creature of their own. But as you can see, Fairy Britain has become a place where fairies imitate human society. For about 14,000 years, fairies here have raised humans like cattle. In that time, they've used humans' innate creativity as entertainment, which in turn allowed them to flourish. Fairies live long lives, and they require no sustenance whatsoever. Since there's nothing they can do, they never change, and they never try anything new. In contrast, humans have countless weaknesses. They live short lives, their injuries don't heal, they need food to survive, and they can easily be killed by wild beasts. So naturally, humans came up with all sorts of things that would allow them to survive and flourish in spite of all those weaknesses. I'm guessing the fairies found that kind of human thinking to be absolutely fascinating. It was like finding a new shiny toy. So they began keeping humans as livestock, followed by superficially copying their culture with cities like this one. They completely ignored the substance behind human agriculture, architecture, and the various fields of study. Instead, only imitating it at the most basic, superficial level. Anything they couldn't copy manually, they fudged magically, or they fudged with magically, or magical energy even. That cathedral there is the worst offender. Fairies have no gods and no religion. There was no actual point to making the cathedral, they just thought it was fun. That's Fairy Britain's culture, and it's how they treat humans. Hell, Jack the Ripper is essentially a placeholder name. Yeah, literally it's just a name. His real name is actually PP. Oh shit, you found me! A real life placeholder. I solved it, shit. That's why PP is so focused on saying Jack is well defined. He's gonna destroy us all, destroy us all, destroy us all, yes! Watch your back. If you see someone staring at you from the shadows, it's me. So basically they ripped off human culture. Gah, well, yes, I guess you could put it that way. Still, as a fairy myself, I can understand how things got to this point. While they definitely took it too far, it makes sense that they'd get like this world in a where This Lost Bell seemed to tongue twist me. While they definitely took it too far, it makes sense they'd get like this in a world where humans are endangered. Both in proper human history and in this Lost Belt, humans are fairies' favorite source of luxury entertainment. This land came to be known as Fairy Britain when fairies began regulating humans at a social level, or societal. It's also the key political policy of High Queen Morgan, your enemy. You guys are going to fight Morgan? Yep, or at least that's the current plan. Isn't that right, Hino? I still don't have a good handle on the situation here, but I do know we need to meet her. I don't know about fighting yet, but we do need to meet this Lost Belt King. But first, we need to find my other two companions. Oh right, we do, don't we? First things first and all that. Why don't we start with the pub? There are always people coming and going in pubs, and some of them may know something useful. Victoria? Why did you stop? Is something wrong? You've helped me out a lot, and I really do appreciate it, but... what should I do? If she's going to fight High Queen Morgan, I'd only complicate things if I stuck around. I wanted to stay with her until she found Mash, but maybe it would be better if we go our separate ways here. So that's how it is. By the way, Victoria. Do you know what they do to humans in this city they catch without their owners? They're captured as ranch escapees and sent up to a New Darlington. New Darlington? As in Darlington, the National Slaughterhouse Theater? Say what? Say what? That's horrible. But wait, isn't Salisbury supposed to be a free city? The head of the Wind Clan runs this place, right? Surely they wouldn't do anything so horrid. Not necessarily. Not even the head of the Wind Clan can defy the High Queen. So it would definitely be to our advantage to have as many trusted collaborators with us as we can. Hino still doesn't know right from her left here, and on top of that, she's a human. Without an owner to watch over her, it'll just be a nameless woods all over again. I do it myself, but since I'm obviously noble, even royal, it would strain crudelty if I tried to claim a human of unknown origins as one of my attendants. But you, on the other hand, would be a perfect fit for Hino. And don't worry, I'm not asking you to stay with her forever, just while we're in Salisbury. You prefer that over being alone too, right, Hino? I guess you're right. Being alone in Britain these days would make you more likely to attract suspicion from the authorities. But what about Tristan? Couldn't he pretend to be Hino's owner? He probably could, but Tristan knows just as little about Fairy Britain as Hino. It wouldn't take much questioning from one of the top clan guards to expose the facade. I wouldn't go that route unless we had no other choice. But if I have a human attendant, that would mean I'd have to be an upper-class fairy. What is that face? Which would also make me Hino's owner, and... It would just be pretend, or were you actually hoping to make her your pet? No, I couldn't pretend, it's fine. I'm still much too young for that. Oh, that's cute. Great, then it's settled. Hino, Artoria is going to be your owner for a while. It'll be the safest way to travel here. Think you could play along? Thanks for doing this. Don't worry, I actually have some acting experience. Okay, if you're sure you want me for this, then I'll do it. Besides, we've come this far together, so I certainly don't mind traveling together a little more. In fact, looking at the bright side, this is actually making one of my childhood dreams come true. Oh? What dream would that be? The same dream every fairy who grows up in the country has, joining the ranks of the upper-class city folk. Whew! Hey there, my good Salisburyans! How are you this fine day? That's right, it is I, Oberon, the Fairy King of Autumn Woods, the missionary of peace, flowers, and fairy tales, here to grace you with my boisterous presence. Hey, Oberon, glad to see you're doing well. Nice to have you back in Salisbury again. Just make sure you don't put anything on your tab today, you hear? Oberon, I knew coming to drink today was a good idea. Oi, where are you paying me back for the money I lent you? I still have to thank you for the help the other day, Oberon. Your advice really got the trees in my backyard to settle down. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back, though. Oh god, he's barred from everybody. Lovely Oberon, you have some time to spare, right? You simply must attend our tea party today. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back, though. There's the poor little prince with a 10,000-year tab. Don't worry, I'll cover this round. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back, though. Oh god. How much money does he owe? Will you all cut that out? Stop pointing out how popular I am. I'm here with some important friends today. Save the money talk for another time. Alright? We know. Don't worry. We're all just joking. You've enriched our lives way more than the Queen's banknotes ever could. We're happy to treat you. Wow, he's so popular. You're in debt, Oberon? So you're poor, even though you call yourself a king? Well, yes, my financials are a little lean just now. Bluntly, I'm flat broke. But what do you expect? When I was summoned to Fairy Britain, all I had in me was this cloak. I woke up in the forest piled high with dead leaves, with literally nothing to my name. Usually, in a situation like that, I'd be too bummed to do anything, would wait for help from proper human history. But since I arrived first, I knew there were things I needed to take care of. Fairies thrive on what they find interesting, so I went around putting on shows in the various cities here. I sang songs, riled up crowds, told fairy tales, entertained housewives, and livened up the nights. Entertained housewives? Okay. This guy is a fucking gigolo. Over time, the people of Britain came to know me as Regal Fairy King Gigolo of a fifth nobody's heard. Of a what? A fifth? Nobody's heard of? Well, at least in the major cities anyway. Oh, so I didn't know you became... Wait, so I didn't know about you because I'm from the countryside. Sorry about that. I'll try to branch out more from now on. Still, this was a hard-fought battle in its own right. Can you imagine what it was like for me to have to act like nobility without any actual capital? I can. I can recall a few dozen times I lied about my situation so I could sing love songs to a beautiful woman I met at a tavern. And indeed, there was nothing quite so tense as that. Yo, what's up, Mad Hatters? For the recent event, do we need to clear the whole Chapter 6? What recent event? You mean the upcoming event, the Lotto? Not usually, no. Most events don't require you to clear the most up-to-date stuff. There are very few events that usually do. The only time you need to clear the most recent story is to get onto the next part. Like, you know, from like 5.5 Hienkyo, you have to finish that before you can go into LB6. You have to finish LB6 before you can go into LB7, etc. Maybe he's thinking anniversary? Anniversary is not so much an event, it's just like a celebration, like a login thing. Yeah, exactly, Lolly. I'm not sure what you mean by recent event, though. You think he means anniversary? Because the last event we had was the summer rerun, right? The story clear support campaign? Oh no. That's just a campaign thing. I don't think that's just not really anything you like do as a such. It's just like it's just like half AP. I think it's just giving you I think that just means you can clear a story for half AP, right? That's what this story clear support campaign usually is. It's not so much as like an event. It seems there are some free quartz. I mean, you get the free quartz just for logging in, right? The 30 free quartz? Yeah, it's just a catch-up thing. Are you talking about like the extra quest rewards? Because those are usually permanent, right? As a fellow poet, Oberon and I have the greatest respect for what you've accomplished here. I don't suppose you'd be willing to give me a few in-depth lessons on how to roll fairy style, would you? If you'd really like to learn from me, I'd be glad to teach you what I know. Besides, with your music backing me up, I bet I'd be able to expand my clientele even more. Now I see. You're both scoundrels who can't be trusted around women. Anyway, where should we sit, Oberon? My favorite table is the round one in the back, on the raised floor. It's harder for the customer to see you there, and it gives you a full view of the whole pub. Now, how about we start with a toast of fruit water? Excuse me, cutie. Are you the new server? Let the owner know we'll be using the table in the back, okay? Oh, and we'd also like to order 4 apple waters. Yo, it's Da Vinci in her maid outfit, what? You got it. I'll have them ready in just a moment. Da Vinci! Huh? Huh? Da Vinci? Whoa, no way, Hino! It's really you! Yo, she looks great in that maid outfit. Oh my goodness, those tights. Those you get for working on the story. You need to clear some chapters in LB6 if there are some required for it. I'm actually trying to... What is it? Let's have a look at what event he means right now. Which one is he talking about? Support campaign? Oh, this? You're talking about this? This is just extra AP, right? You need to have cleared part 2, Nakra Mandala Hienkyo. To unlock part 2, chapter 6, Lost Belt. Yeah, it's just... E2 Leyline Story is back. Limited Leyline Campaign. Leyline Story. Oh, it's just... Yeah. So it's just a catch-up mechanic, yeah. Yeah, this is just a catch-up mechanic. You don't... This isn't really an event. It's just... Well, I guess it is an event, but it's not like... You don't really get anything from it. Apart from these blue things, right? These catch-up cubes. This here, this clear store missions added to master missions, this is just normal stuff that you get. This right here, the quartz you're talking about, this is permanent. This goes down to here. And, well, it's not permanent, but you got lots of time, right? It's in limited missions. This is just like free stuff. Wait, actually, isn't this permanent? I don't remember. You get like, you basically get like 10 free quartz for completing like one whole story chapter. No, that's limited? Oh, okay. I don't remember because I completed all mine, so I don't remember if I had dates or not, or time, but, yeah. The story clear campaign is literally just a way for new players to catch up, like if you're behind in story. It just makes you have like half AP for each story node to catch up and get the limited quartz. It is permanent. He asked about a thing literally called limited. Limited time is not limited. I don't know, man. FGO do things weird. FGO do things weird. But yeah, the support campaign is just a way for new players. It's not like something you need to complete. Like, for example, I can't do anything with it because I'm already up to date in story, so that support campaign is like doesn't do anything for me. Are you new, Mad Hatters? How long have you been playing FGO for? I'm assuming you must be like really new. So this campaign would help you catch up then and give you lots of quartz. Oh, you stopped for a while to take a break? Oh, I see. Everyone always comes back around the anniversary. It's fun. You should get some. You should get some returning quarters. And if you've been away for a while, the returning campaign should also be a part or effective to you, right? Because there's always like a new player or old player return campaign usually. If you haven't played in a long while. Oh man, you never believe what happened to me. So after we got separated in the fog, I let my instincts lead me, and that brought me right back to the beach. Luckily, that beach was far enough away from the foggy woods that I was able to follow the coastline east. Eventually, I caught sight of Salisbury here, and figured I ought to be able to learn more in a populated city. When I got here, an angel, far too good for this world, just appeared on my pub's doorstep. She was very unsteady on her feet, but I could still see the fire in her deep blue eyes when she said, "Yo, thank you for the follow, man. I just appreciate it, man. What a lovely place. Would you let me work here for the rest of my life?" I never said that! What I said was, I'm looking for my companions, but first, could I have a glass of water? Remember? Well, if you ever change your mind, you just let me know. You're welcome to work here forever. Yes, I heard you the first 100 times. Now, Mike, back behind the counter. I'll teach you to make cocktails later. Wait, what is that laugh? Da Vinci? Yo, he's trying to say her name like cute speak. Da Vinci, my perfect angel. Anyway, that's my story. I'm glad you're okay, Hino. You too, Tristan. Although, looks like you still haven't found Mash yet. I see. You must be the other servant Hino told us about. It's an honor to meet a renowned genius like yourself, Leonardo da Vinci. Who are you? I'm guessing the fact that you know my name means you're a servant from proper human history. I'm Oberon. Oberon the Fairy King. Though, here, I guess it's more of an aspirational title. It's nice to meet you, Da Vinci. I'm Otoria Caster. I met Hino in the Nameless Woods. To make a long story short, I'm going around with Hino pretending to be her owner. Seriously? That's hilarious! Thanks, Otoria. That must have been a huge weight off Hino's shoulders. But hey, you're a British fairy too, right? Da Vinci's really cute, isn't she? Da Vinci. You've probably got some idea of it is what's going on here by now. Her maid outfit is especially adorable. But you're helping Hino, so does that mean you're good with it? Well, more or less. Honestly, I didn't really even get half of what Hino and Oberon told me. But I do know that Hino was telling the truth. I wouldn't feel right about abandoning someone in trouble when it's within my ability to help them, and honestly, it kind of seemed like fun. Yeah, Mama Da Vinci is really cute too, or beautiful, I should say the word. Gotcha. Then it should be okay to speak frankly here. So, how did you end up here, Hino? I forgot, is the maid outfit one of her ascensions, or is it actual, like an outfit for Da Vinci? Whoa, sounds like you guys had a hell of a time in that forest. I'm glad you made it out of there. I actually don't own any of the Da Vincis. Thanks for keeping her safe, Tristan. You too, Oberon, Notoria. So, we still don't know much about Britain. We have no idea where Mash is. But we do know that she's still alive, and Oberon is flat broke. Okay now, we're all on the same page. We can figure out what to do next. You made the right call, Oberon. We should be wandering aimlessly around Britain right now. We shouldn't be. What we need to do is set up a base of operations here in Salisbury, where we can gather information and tackle our problems one at a time. Our top priority right now is finding Mash, so we'll need to look out for info on a girl wearing iron armor. While we do that, we should also learn more about Britain and the lives of the fairies who live in it. So you want us to set up a base? Do you have a house here or something? I sure do. This pub doubles as an inn. Well, technically, they just copied a man-made inn without knowing what it was for. So I told Mike about inns and how to put all the extra rooms he's got here to good use. And as a little reward for my service, I got to take 3 of the second floor rooms for myself. 3? I knew we'd eventually find each other, and that we'd need Chaldea Frontline Base when we did, so that's why I went ahead and made one. Whoa, I'm impressed, Da Vinci, and I know Lancelot would be especially blown away by what you've done here. Isn't this Lancelot person also a young girl? Pfft, spit take. In one sense, you're not wrong. This is great. I can already tell this Da Vinci friend of yours will be a huge help. Alright, since it seems like you guys have things well in hand now, I think I'll take my leave. I've actually got a lot of other things I still have to do. You're going off on your own, Oberon? Yep, I'm going to see what I can find out about this match girl. Not to mention, we also need more information about Britain as a whole. Now that you Chaldeans have come here, things definitely are going to change. And since we still don't have many allies on our side yet, I want to make sure we know where things stand in every region. But we'll see you again soon, right? Of course, especially now that I know where I can find you all. Don't worry, next time you see me, I'll have a good news in the meantime. I suggest you all get accompanied with Britain sooner or later. No! Capture card! Don't know why I did that. Don't worry, next time you see me, I'll have good news. In the meantime, I suggest you all get accompanied with Britain sooner or later. Sooner than later. Well, damn, he sure didn't waste any time. I'm glad he's on our side, but he definitely dances to the beat of his own drum, doesn't he? Indeed, and that colorful outfit of his speaks to me. It tells me he is, without a doubt, the same kind of poet as me. Ah, how this gladdens me. So, what should we do now? I could show you around Salisbury if you like. Thanks, but I think we should take the rest of the day off. You all walked a long way to get here, after all. Please, go ahead and make yourself comfy, in the rooms I mentioned. You take a room for yourself. Tristan and I will share another. And Victoria, you can use the other room I set aside for MASH. Heh, I knew I was right not settling for just 2 rooms. Oh, I also put some Magecraft barriers in the rooms so we don't have to worry about being overheard. I recognize that Da Vinci wink. Da Vinci wink! Really? I can have a whole room to myself? For free? Hooray! I've always wanted my own room. I can't wait to get all comfy. Thank you, Da Vinci. Gosh, you proper human history? Fairies are all so generous. This is great. Aw, it's adorable. And now she's gone too. I know I didn't touch on this before, but she's pretty different from the Arturia we know, isn't she? Yes, she is. From what I've seen so far. We should consider her an entirely separate person from King Arthur, Arturia Pendragon, the King of Britain in proper human history. Yep, which is one of the things I'd like to discuss up in our room, if you two don't mind taking this there. It's better if we discuss proper human history stuff just among ourselves. You really can't be too careful here. Now, we could have easily shared a room with MASH. True and real. Alright, let's begin by sharing what we've learned, starting with this version of Britain. You probably got a sense of this yourselves on your way to Salisbury. But, this lost belt is very different from all the others we've seen so far. It doesn't look at all like an alternative path human history could have taken, especially since humans aren't dominant species here. So far as I can tell, this world consists almost entirely of fairies. In Russia, a huge cold snap made it impossible for the human species to survive as they were, so they were forced to adapt and evolve. In Scandinavia, the Twilight of the Gods, aka Ragnarok, happened during the Age of Gods, and both gods and people alike were in sharp decline afterwards. China was ruled by a single Zenren, or true human, and became the sole nation-state in the entire world. India was converging in on itself, through endless cycles of reincarnation, only for the whole world instead of individual people. And in Greece, humankind was completely dominated by gods who never died out. While all of them were dead ends, they were still all human worlds. No matter how different they may have been from our timeline, they still all had human societies that suited their environments in the year 2019. But that's not the case here. This is very much not a human world. One bed would have been enough as well, all too true. Comfy snuggles. For one thing, there is no world outside of Britain. It's not like the other Lost Belts, where we just couldn't see the outside world, thanks to the storm walls. There's just nothing. Oh, there's just nothing in this world at all, besides Britain. No other countries, and definitely no other nations. They really did Brexit. So as long as we're here, the whole planet consists of nothing but the Isle of Britain and the sea. And that means it's basically another world with no relation to human history. How is that possible? Yep, given what we know now, that's the only way to describe it. Over the last few days, I've been asking various fairies about what things are like between Britain and other countries, but the very idea of other countries was alien to them. So that tells me there must be some strange circumstance that caused this place to become a fairy Britain. Figuring out what that is will be the key to beating, no, unraveling this little spell. I can't speak today. Hold on. If there aren't any other European countries here, does that mean every fairy in this land comes solely from the Isle of Britain? That's a great question, Tristan. If there are no other lands in this world... Does my capture card keep cutting out? It follows that no fairy legends from the places would be imported here. It follows that no fairy legends from those places would be imported here. But luckily, there's still a little thing called human history convergence. What that means is as long as the fairy once existed on Earth, their existence will remain even if their form and history are different. So even in Fairy Britain, we have fairies from various European legends showing up in different forms. Basically, the ecosystems are similar, even if the environments aren't. Since this is still the same place, or same planet, sorry, Earth, there are inevitably going to be similar life forms, civilizations, and large-scale events. Similar life forms, huh? Let's take a quick break. Lots of reading. Brain melting today. These notes are long as fuck! Yep, Fairy Britain may be nothing like Britain we know. But despite that, the two Britons have a surprising number of things in common. Things like city names, fairy names, even the names of this world's queen. Remember that huge castle to the north you saw on the way here? It belongs to High Queen Morgan, ruler of Fairy Britain. And it probably won't be a surprise to you to learn that its name is Camelot. That's right, here, the same castle that symbolized British peace in proper human history. That was home to King Arthur, and the Knights of the Round Table belongs to Morgan. The strongest, most despised witch in Britain history, and the once indirectly responsible for King Arthur's death and Britain's downfall. Meow. I did hear her name a few times on the way here, but man, Morgan the witch, huh? Yep, as far as I've been able to find out, Morgan's ruled Fairy Britain for almost 2,000 years. There are 6 different fairy clans here: Wind, Earth, Fang, Mirror, Wing, and one other. They waged war with each other constantly for thousands of years, until Morgan used evil magecraft to defeat them, subjugated half the clans through force, and united all of Britain. Afterwards, she gave the humans of this world a limited degree of freedom, made them build a foundation for civilization, and developed this imitation society over the course of the last 2,000 years. Morgan. So even in this lost bout, she's still trying to... But no, I suppose I shouldn't say that. I'm sure this Morgan is a different person from the one we know. So what exactly is her reign like? Since she calls her castle Camelot, does that mean it's fair and just in a way King Arthur would be proud of? No, it's pretty horrible. She has strict limits on the number of humans that can be born each year, and she rules the fairies with an iron fist. Every fairy that lives in an urban area is inscribed with Morgan's curse, command spells, as part of their civic duty. And every year, fairies inscribed with these command spells are forced to donate some of their vitality, magical energy essentially. They call it the existence tax. Damn! Existence tax? Yikes. And any fairy who can't pay it, essentially, who can't provide enough magical energy to satisfy Morgan, are killed, right there, and then. Apparently, when she first took the throne, Morgan told the fairies, "I offer neither absolution nor salvation. I demand only that you obey without question or hesitation. Show me your fealty, in word and action, and I shall keep Britain safe. Any fairies who can't handle this state of affairs and become unable to work are either taken into Camelot and dealt with there, or they escape the cities and run away to lands no one else knows about. An annual existence tax." Damn. Such an oppressive regime is bound to spark oppression, or opposition. But even so, Morgan has maintained her iron grip on Britain for 2,000 years. Yep, which just goes to show how powerful she must be. She takes half the soul of every fairy in Britain each year, and there's still no fairies willing to stand up to her, able or willing. That said, there are some positive sides to Morgan's reign. Remember those black things we fought near the shore? The fairies call them Moors, and they're one of the calamities that have been plaguing Fairy Britain since its inception. Occasionally, fairies that lose their purpose, or their spark, end up turning into these Moors creatures. Moors are essentially the fairies' natural predators. Just touching one is enough to infect a fairy, ultimately transforming them into a Moors too. It's kind of like a disease that only fairies affect, or that only affects fairies. And the Moors aren't the only calamity Britain has to regularly contend with. There are lots of others that pop up on a regular basis. And Morgan's the High Queen Army consultant fending them off. Morgan may be a cold and ruthless ruler, but she also has a sword that keeps Britain safe. The fairies may fear and hate her, but they also depend on her. And that's the current state of the fairy Britain. Sounds like Morgan's definitely this lost spell's king then. Yep, that seems like a very safe assumption, which means she's also has to be the one who used Rongominiad. Rongominiado! That spell was so powerful it reached Olympus from here. No one else could have cast it. Though of course, that unfortunately also means Barrow Gut is involved with Morgan somehow. So I'd say that makes our chance of peaceful negotiation with her basically nil. I see. Then we have our own reasons for defeating her. Yep, though we might have a hard time getting into Camelot, since apparently no one can enter it without her permission. That said, even Morgan's reign isn't perfect. In fact, there's new hope going around in Britain right now. As luck would have it, we showed up here at the exact right time, just as things are about to change. So what's this new hope? The Child of Prophecy. Specifically, a child whose existence was prophesied by the head of the now extinct Mirror Clan right before they disappeared. From what I heard, it went something like this. 16 years from now, a savior shall appear. Guided by the staff of selection, the true king will take the throne. When the sixth bell rings out, the false queen will fall. Alongside Fae and humans, the savior will bring an end to this false history. So what do you think? Sounds vaguely familiar, right? It's got credibility out the wazoo, too, since the Mirror Clan's prophecies have never once been wrong. The High Queen's been trying to prevent the inevitable by rounding up every fairy who turned 16 this year. But the fact that this Child of Prophecy hunt is still going on proves that she still hasn't caught them. Suffice to say, between the Moors and the Child of Prophecy alone, the cracks are showing in the High Queen's reign. So if we play our cards right, we might just be able to negotiate with Morgan after all. That said, finding a match definitely comes first. For the time being, you should rest up and recover your strength. Then tomorrow, we can start gathering information, quietly and casually, of course, so as not to arouse suspicion. Holy moly, is that it? Oh my god, it's still going! This one note has been going for like 45-50 minutes. This one arrow, holy shit. Okay. Oh man, it feels like forever since I last laid on a soft bed. The British lost belt, High Queen Morgan. Latoria, Oberon. Mash, wherever you are, please be safe. It's still going. I thought that was the end. It's still going. Okay, I think we could use some rest too. Servants might not need to sleep, but it's still tiring to be constantly watching out for threats, right? I mean, you never took your fingers off your bowstrings even once that entire time. Guess that's why you were a Knight of the Round Table, huh? Huh. You're just noticing that suggests I must need rest as well. But not just yet. But please, don't refrain from resting on my account, Da Vinci. You may be a servant too, but you're also a being living in here and now, just like you know. So go on, get some sleep. Don't worry, it's my duty to protect you as well as her. Gotcha. I guess I should have expected that kind of consideration from Tristan, the Child of Sadness, and the most handsome knight of the Round Table. Ooh, she's blushing! I'll take a picture of that. Da Vinci's blushing for Tristan. They're sharing a room together. Need I say more? Okay then, I think I'll take you up on that. Honestly, I was pretty beat. By all means, but first, I have just one request for you. I don't want to take too much of your time, but before you fall asleep, I was hoping you could tell me about the sixth singularity. Specifically, I would like to hear about the version of me who was summoned here, or was summoned there, and what I was doing in the holy city of Camelot.